straight out the gate. This is our story we're scripting, our film, our glorious vision, our sound, our score that is written in this sport, this division. My, how the tournament's risen. Hey, I'ma lay my tracks down on that freight train, tearing through the sky in the clouds. Sky high, yeah. Welcome to the time of my life. Sky high, yeah. Welcome to the time of my life.
After Manchester, it was a bit of a spur of the moment trip. I ended up flying back into LA and then grabbing my mountain bike and drove to Monterey, so Northern California with Barry, and did the Sea Otter Mountain Bike Festival. So for me, I was able to hit that refresh button after the last World Cup and go and race the pump track, and ended up winning that, and then did the dual slalom and finished up third. And then from there, it's just been training coming in for this World Cup. The race results so far this season, it's just really showing my off-season preparation. There's a lot of mistakes that I'd made in past years and things that would work on the bike and off the bike, and with gearings and gym programs. I think the last sort of 3-year cycle from the last Olympics to now, I tested out quite a lot of things, and now I knew coming into this year what was going to work and what I was going to stick to, and I think mentally that's really helped as well. So here we are. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. This is the Australian High Performance Team, our staff's headquarters, you could say, and a bit of the team behind the dream that keeps us on track. Here we are the day before the World Cup, basically preparing mentally, physically, getting everything sorted for the weekend ahead. We've got the 5 athletes here this weekend, 4 staff, mechanic, our head coach, sports scientist and physio. It's pretty crazy to think the 6 minutes of racing that we do on a race day, the preparation the week before when we turn up at an event can be pretty chaotic, but it runs really smooth. When we travel to a World Cup, we probably roughly check in about 20 bags of luggage. The trip here from the US, I'd say about 13 hours of travel to get here. We do a gym session the week before a World Cup as well. We have our testing and make sure that all the numbers are on track. I generally do a sprint session. We have the practice session before the World Cup and the time trial as well. So yeah, the whole week it always pans out pretty smooth and easy sailing. Everyone always asks me, you know, being a professional athlete, traveling on the road, they always think it's that little snippet of what you see on social media or what you see when I'm racing on the track. But what goes into it behind the scenes, there's so much in the mental preparation and the physical training, getting my body right. Behind the scenes when I'm in the hotel rooms, I do a lot of meditation to yoga and a lot of stretching. I love listening to podcasts, and some of those guided meditations I've found have been pretty important and useful to step up on the gate, knowing that for that track I'm on the perfect setup and my race lines are covered, my time trial lines are covered, knowing also what strengths and weaknesses of competitors out there as well and what they're doing, keeping my body in tune as well with massage/physiotherapist. BMX, it's such an aggressive sport and so full on and so much adrenaline rush that contrast and balance behind the scenes of being able to stay centered and have that offset to what we do on the track is kind of the key. One of the biggest goals coming into this weekend was to stay a little bit more centered and just roll with the wind, roll with the weather, just whatever occurred to kind of deal with it. When I stepped up on that gate for that final, it was windy, there was all the elements, and felt that discomfort, but really sort of thought of Rio. Knowing there's going to be a triple there, it could be windy at Rio, I sort of just said to myself, I'm going to jump that triple no matter what. Got blown over the triple, made some other mistakes around the track, and Laura Smulders got me at the line. There's so many wins to take away from this weekend, and for me the biggest win is definitely just jumping that triple in the wind, in the final, in the elements. Keeping the big picture in mind, my biggest goal this year is Rio and the World Championships in 21 days, so just happy to walk away injury-free. Well, here we are in Colombia, the start of the UCI BMX World Championships week. Growing up as a little girl, I always wanted to be that world champion athlete, and I always looked at those rainbow stripes. They're so known across all the cycling disciplines, and for me, it's always been one of those big goals. The rainbow stripes are forever. When I did win in 2013, the honour of being able to wear those rainbow stripes on my back in the 2014 season was, it was a feeling like no other. For me this week, I'll have my book out and do my guided meditations. I really like to feel bored and just feel completely almost like super mellow the week before a major event, and that's how I know that I'm mentally fresh and ready. It's time trial day. Weather's been a little bit unpredictable, so we've had a few rain delays. They're putting the tarpaulins over the track, making sure that the track stays in good condition for racing. It's kind of just going with the flow and the laid-backness of South America. It's a constant party vibe definitely all around, and the constant trance music going on. I got down the first straight really clean and over the triple. It was a really technical track, so making the least amount of mistakes was sort of the key to winning. I think I walked away with a lot of confidence from yesterday coming into the racing today, knowing that I can get solid laps around the track, and now it's race time and head to head. That was a crazy World Championship final. On the start gate, it was Elise, Mariana, myself, Hernandez. We're all lined up, lanes 1 to 4. A little bobble at the bottom of the hill. Saw that Elise went left, so I decided to go right. She pulled a clip down the last straight and I managed to come through for a second place. Pretty stoked, 2 podiums for the weekend. I've never had this consistent year ever. Pretty much my almost flawless year so far, and yeah, super stoked. Yeah, just a reset, keep focusing on my training, doing what I'm doing. Just prepare for the biggest race of the year.